1972 No mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Is it just a regular penny, or could this coin potentially be worth thousands, maybe even millions of dollars? Stick around as we explore the fascinating world of this rare coin and its current market value. First things first, let's talk about the 1972 Lincoln penny and its history. The U.S. Mint typically places a mint mark on coins produced at specific mints: the Philadelphia Mint, no mark, the Denver Mint, D, and the San Francisco Mint, S. However, the 1972 penny, which came from the Philadelphia Mint, doesn't have a mint mark. But that's not the only thing that makes it special. Now you might wonder, why is the no mint mark feature so important? Well, it's because some rare coins from the Philadelphia Mint are valuable precisely because of the absence of a mint mark. The coin we're focusing on today doesn't have a mint mark, but that's not the only thing that makes it stand out in the world of coin collectors. Let's get into the heart of the matter. While the 1972 penny looks like a standard coin at first glance, some variations and errors make it highly sought after by collectors. The most famous of these is the 1972 double-die penny. In 1972, there was a significant error at the U.S. Mint, where some of the coins were struck twice. This resulted in what we call a double die. You can spot this error by examining the Lincoln portrait and the lettering on the obverse, that's the front side, of the coin. If you see any doubling, especially in the word Liberty or the date, you might have a valuable double-die penny. Now, back to the 1972 no mint mark penny. If you're holding one, you might be wondering, is this just another penny, or is it worth something more? Well, in its base form, a 1972 penny without any errors or variations typically has a face value of just 1 cent. However, the situation changes when we're talking about well-preserved specimens. Coins that are in near mint or mint condition can command higher prices. So how much can you expect to get for a 1972 no mint mark penny? Let's break it down. The general market price for a circulated 1972 penny without any major errors or where is very modest. Usually, you can expect anywhere from 1 to 5 cents for one in average condition. However, the value increases exponentially for higher grade coins. A 1972 penny in excellent condition or one with minimal wear can sell for anywhere from $2 to $10. And for rare coins, especially those in mint state or nearly perfect condition, the price can go up even higher. Now, here's the big question: can the 1972 no mint mark penny be worth millions of dollars? Well, in rare cases, certain 1972 pennies with unique errors, such as the double die or some other subtle imperfections, could potentially fetch hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars at auction. But the key is rarity and condition. Some of the highest auction results for rare 1972 pennies have reached jaw-dropping numbers, especially for coins with the famous double die error. A 1972 double die penny in near-perfect condition could easily sell for over $100,000. And if you're lucky enough to find one with a significant error that has been authenticated, you could be sitting on a true treasure. Alright, so you have a 1972 no mint mark penny, and you think it might be valuable. How do you know if it's worth more than a penny? First, check for the double die error. Look closely at the details of Abraham Lincoln's portrait and the inscription Liberty for any signs of doubling. You can also use a magnifying glass or a microscope for a more detailed view. The clearer and more defined the doubling, the more valuable the coin could be. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. Coins that are in better shape, without major scratches or discoloration, will always be worth more. The grading system used by professional numismatists, like the Sheldon scale, rates coins from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. So, should you hold on to your 1972 no mint mark penny? If it's in great condition or has some unique errors like the double die, it could definitely be worth something. While most 1972 pennies are worth just a few cents, rarer versions could fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. Make sure to check your coins carefully, and if you think you found something special, it might be worth getting it professionally graded. You never know when you could have a hidden treasure on your hands. 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. If you've got one of these tucked away in your collection, Stick around because you might just have something that could be worth a fortune. Now you might be wondering, what's so special about a 1978 penny? It's just a regular coin, right? Well, not exactly. This penny has a unique characteristic that makes it highly sought after in the numismatic world. And today, we'll talk about its history, why it's so valuable, and how it could potentially be worth millions of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. To understand the rarity of the 1978 no-mint mark penny, let's first take a quick trip back in time. In 1978, the United States Mint produced a massive number of Lincoln pennies. These coins were intended for general circulation, meaning they were made in vast quantities, so at first glance, you might think these coins are quite ordinary. But here's where things get interesting. Coins from that year were expected to have mint marks. These marks, specifically the D for Denver or S for San Francisco, were meant to indicate where the coin was produced. However, a few unusual and rare 1978 pennies were struck without any mint mark at all, and that's what sets them apart from their peers. So, what makes this coin so valuable? For a coin collector, mint marks are crucial. They allow them to trace a coin's origin, and a penny without a mint mark from the 1978 series is considered to be a striking error, one that was never supposed to happen. This minting mistake has created a buzz in the numismatic world. Generally, when a coin is missing its expected mint mark, it creates a rare, highly desirable error coin. A coin with no mint mark isn't just a fun novelty, it's an anomaly, and as you know, rare anomalies in the world of coins often mean big money. Now, let's talk about how much you can actually get for one of these rare 1978 no mint mark pennies. At the lower end, you might see these pennies sold for a few dollars, depending on their condition. But the value of a coin skyrockets depending on factors like its grade, its condition, and the rarity of the minting error. For example, some of these coins in pristine, uncirculated condition have sold for thousands of dollars at auctions. And for those coins that are in exceptionally great condition, you're talking about values in the tens of thousands of dollars. However, a select few of these 1978 no-mint mark pennies have reached near million-dollar levels. Yes, you heard me correctly. Some of the very best examples, especially those that are well preserved and have been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, have sold for figures in the hundreds of thousands to even millions of dollars. Let's break down how you can identify a 1978 no-mint mark penny in your collection. First, grab a magnifying glass and closely inspect the area near Abraham Lincoln's shoulder, just below the date. Normally, there should be a D or S mint mark there. If you don't see any mint mark, then congratulations, you might have one of these rare error pennies. But remember, the coin also has to be in good condition. A coin with heavy wear and tear will definitely lower its value. Look for coins with sharp details, full lettering, and a clear, crisp image of Abraham Lincoln. As we look at the value of these coins over the past few decades, the demand for error coins has been growing steadily. Rare mint errors, especially ones from highly circulated years like 1978, have become highly coveted by collectors and investors alike. Investors are even jumping on board, viewing these coins as a way to diversify their portfolios. As the number of high-quality examples decreases, prices will likely continue to climb, making your 1978 no-mint mark penny an even more valuable asset. If you think you have one of these rare pennies and you're considering selling it, there are a few places where you can do so. First, consider having the coin graded by a professional service. That will give you a clearer idea of its value and make it more marketable. You can then sell it through major auction houses, specialized coin dealers, or online marketplaces like eBay, where collectors and investors from all over the world are constantly searching for the next big find. So there you have it, a glimpse into the potential value of the 1978 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. If you have one of these in your collection, you could be holding a rare treasure. Remember, condition is key when it comes to value, so take good care of your coins. 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. Now, this isn't just any ordinary penny, and you're not going to want to miss out on what we have to talk about today. So, what's the deal with the 1982 no-mint mark penny? You've probably heard some rumors about it being worth a lot of money, and believe me, the hype is real. This coin has a fascinating backstory and could potentially land you a small fortune if you're lucky enough to find one. But before we get into its value and what makes it so rare, let's take a quick trip back in time. To understand why the 1982 no-mint mark penny is so valuable, we first need to know what happened in 1982. This was the year when the US Mint made a significant change to the production of pennies. Historically, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But with rising copper prices, the mint decided to change the penny's composition in 1982 to a zinc core with a thin copper plating, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. But here's the catch: not all 1982 pennies were made in the same way. In fact, the 1982 coinage saw two different types, those minted in copper and those minted in the new zinc alloy. And that's just the beginning of the story. Now let's focus on the part that really sparks interest, the missing mint mark. As you may already know, US coins typically have a mint mark that indicates where they were struck: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mark for Philadelphia. In 1982, however, the Philadelphia Mint was churning out pennies without adding a mint mark, and this is where things get really interesting. So, what does that mean? Well, during the early part of 1982, it was typical for some coins minted in Philadelphia to lack a mint mark, and that's what makes these no-mint mark pennies incredibly rare. They weren't supposed to be produced without a mark, but some made it out into circulation. Now, here's the million-dollar question: how rare is the 1982 no-mint mark penny? It's estimated that only a small number of these pennies were ever minted. While the US Mint was creating millions of pennies that year, only a fraction of those were produced in Philadelphia without a mint mark. Collectors, numismatists, and coin hunters have been searching high and low for these elusive pennies. The rarity of this penny has caused it to be highly sought after in the coin community, and because they're so rare, they tend to sell for higher prices than you might expect for a typical penny. So, let's talk numbers. How much is the 1982 no-mint mark penny worth today? Well, the value can vary greatly depending on the condition of the coin. A regular 1982 no-mint mark penny in good condition might be worth anywhere from $5 to $10, but that's just the beginning. If your penny is in mint condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, it could be worth upwards of $50 to $100. But here's where things get wild. If you have a truly pristine 1982 no-mint mark penny, and it's graded highly by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, you could see a price tag of over $1,000. Yes, that's right, a penny worth thousands of dollars. But why is it so valuable? First off, its rarity plays a big role. The fact that this penny wasn't meant to be produced without a mint mark makes it a great example of a mistake coin, which always carries a higher value in the numismatic world. Coins like these are highly collectible because they're part of the rich history of the US Mint, and their scarcity makes them a highly coveted find. Another reason for its high value is the growing interest in collecting rare coins. As more collectors enter the market, rare and unusual coins like the 1982 no-mint mark penny are seeing increased demand, which in turn boosts their value. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare pennies? First, you need to check for the absence of a mint mark on the obverse side, under Lincoln's shoulder. That's the key feature that sets it apart from other 1982 pennies. Next, you'll want to check the overall condition of the coin. Look for any signs of heavy wear, scratches, or damage. Coins in excellent condition, with little to no signs of wear, will fetch the highest prices. Now, while it might sound unbelievable, could a 1982 no-mint mark penny ever be worth millions? It's unlikely, but not impossible. If the coin is in perfect condition, has a special pedigree, or is tied to some kind of historic event, you could see the value skyrocket. However, even though the chances of a 1982 no-mint mark penny breaking into the $1 million range are slim, there's always a possibility. After all, coin collecting is a world full of surprises. So, there you have it, the 1982 no-mint mark penny, one of the rarest and most intriguing coins you could find in your pocket change. Whether it's worth a few bucks or thousands, this penny is definitely one to keep an eye out for. If you've got one in your collection, it might just be time to get it professionally graded. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin knowledge, tips, and updates on the most valuable coins out there. And as always, happy coin hunting! 1986 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. At first glance, the 1986 penny might just seem like any other coin from the 1980s, but trust me, this one has something special about it that could make you some serious cash. So, let's talk about the 1986 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny, its value, and why it's causing a buzz among collectors and investors alike. To understand the value of the 1986 No Mint Mark penny, we need to know a bit about its history. The Lincoln Memorial design, created by Frank Gasparo, was in use from 1959 until 2008. For decades, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies featuring this iconic design, Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But here's where it gets interesting. In 1986, something happened at the mint that caused a rarity to appear, a 1986 penny with no mint mark. This happened because the minting process that year had some hiccups, leading to a few pennies being struck without the usual D or S mint marks. Mint marks are essential in identifying where a coin was produced. Most of the coins from the U.S. Mint carry a mark indicating their minting facility, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. But the 1986 penny, a no mint mark version, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and here's why it matters. When coins are struck without a mint mark, they become unique. Think about it, every year, millions of pennies are produced with mint marks. But those rare, undated versions are the ones that truly capture the attention of collectors and coin enthusiasts. That's why the 1986 no mint mark penny can fetch far more than just 1 cent. But just like any other coin, the value of the 1986 no mint mark penny depends heavily on its condition. Coin grading is an essential part of determining the worth, and coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. Coins with higher grades, like MS65 or MS66, mint state, are worth significantly more than those with signs of wear and tear. If your 1986 no mint mark penny is in excellent condition, with a sharp, clean design and minimal signs of use, you might be looking at a price that's much higher than face value. Now, let's talk about the current market value. So, how much is this penny worth today? Well, it's not going to make you a millionaire yet, but it can still be worth a lot more than its original 1 cent face value. On average, a typical 1986 no mint mark penny in circulated condition could go for anywhere between $2 to $5. It's not huge, but that's a solid return considering it was just 1 cent originally. But if you're lucky enough to have one in pristine condition, something like an MS65 or MS66, it could be worth $50 to $100 or even more at auction. Now, here's where things get even more exciting. We all know that coins can sometimes skyrocket in value, especially rare ones. The 1986 no mint mark penny, while not in the same league as some ultra-rare pennies, has the potential to reach staggering amounts, especially in rare cases where the coin is in flawless condition. Imagine this. A penny that was initially worth just 1 cent could eventually sell for $1 million in the right market, with the right collectors. Think about it. If a coin is in absolute perfect condition, and there's only a handful of these no mint mark versions left in existence, you could see bids rise higher than anyone expected. So, what can you do if you think you've found one of these rare pennies? The first thing is to inspect it carefully. Look for any signs of wear and make sure there's no mint mark on the reverse side. If the penny looks pristine, you might have a gem on your hands. Get your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These companies can accurately assess the quality and grade of your coin, which will greatly affect its value. A well-graded coin could make all the difference when it comes to auctioning it for top dollar. So, while the 1986 no mint mark penny may not be a guaranteed $1 million find for everyone, its rarity and uniqueness make it a prized possession for coin collectors. If you're lucky enough to stumble across one in your change or your collection, make sure to get it evaluated. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin tips, tricks, and valuable finds. And if you've got a rare coin you're curious about, drop a comment below. We love hearing about your collections. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting! 1993 D. Lincoln Penny, a coin that many overlook but could be hiding a real treasure. We'll explore its value, the factors that make it rare, and how it could potentially be worth millions of dollars. The 1993 D. Lincoln Penny, just another penny in your pocket, right? Well, not necessarily. While it's true that most pennies from this year are worth only 1 cent, there are a few special exceptions that can fetch an incredible amount of money. Today, we're going to focus on the 1993 D penny, minted in Denver, and why some of these seemingly ordinary coins are worth far more than their face value. Before we get into the specifics of the value, let's talk about the mint mark. As you can see, this coin features the D mint mark, which means it was minted in Denver. But why does this matter? The mint mark indicates the location where the coin was struck. While the 1993 D penny is not rare in circulation, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. To understand the potential worth of a 1993 D penny, you need to consider 3 important factors: rarity, condition, and errors. Let's break these down. The 1993 D penny isn't particularly rare in terms of how many were produced. The U.S. Mint struck over 6 billion pennies in 1993, so it's not a coin you'll find in your pocket every day. But the rarity comes into play when we talk about specific mint errors. The condition of a coin is one of the most crucial factors in determining its value. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, free of scratches, discoloration, and wear, can be worth far more than those that have been in circulation for decades. The most exciting part: errors. A 1993 D Lincoln penny with an error, such as a double die, misstrike, or other manufacturing flaws, can shoot its value into the thousands, even millions of dollars. Error coins are highly sought after by collectors. Now, this is where things get really interesting. Error coins, especially those with minting flaws that are unique, can make a 1993 D penny extraordinarily valuable. For example, if the penny has a double die, which occurs when the coin's design is stamped more than once, creating a blurry or overlapping image, collectors can pay top dollar for it. Some double-die pennies have been known to sell for thousands or even millions of dollars. In fact, there have been some amazing real-life examples of 1993 D Lincoln pennies with errors that fetched shocking prices at auctions. One such example, a 1993 D penny with a double-die error, sold for nearly $2,000. Now you might be thinking, that's impressive, but how does it reach the $1 million mark? Well, here's the kicker. The rarest error types can send a penny's value into the millions. A penny with significant double-die errors, combined with a flawless mint condition, could potentially hit a 7-figure price. However, these instances are extremely rare and depend on the unique error being discovered by an expert. So, how can you tell if your 1993 D penny is worth more than just a cent? It's all about inspection and knowledge. Use a magnifying glass to carefully inspect the details of the design, looking for any signs of a double die error or other abnormalities. Coins that have been stored carefully in airtight holders, avoiding wear and tear, will hold more value than those with visible scratches or discoloration. Common errors to watch for include double dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned designs. These can significantly increase a coin's value. If you suspect your 1993 D penny might be rare, consider getting it graded by a certified coin grading service. Once you've found a potential treasure, where do you sell it? There are a few options. You can take it to a trusted local coin dealer, list it at an auction house, or sell it online through platforms like eBay, where collectors often scout for rare finds. However, always remember to get a second opinion and get your coin professionally authenticated before selling it to ensure you're getting the best possible price. So, is your 1993 D Lincoln penny worth millions? The short answer is maybe. But it all depends on the condition of the coin and the presence of rare errors. Whether you're a casual collector or a serious numismatist, It's always worth checking your change for hidden treasures. After all, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. 1987 No mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, that simple penny you see every day might actually be worth millions, depending on a few key factors. Stick around as we explore why this penny is one of the most intriguing finds for collectors, its current market value, and how it could make you a fortune. First, let's take a look at what makes the 1987 no mint mark penny so valuable. It's important to understand that most pennies minted in 1987 were produced with the D mint mark, indicating they were made in the Denver Mint. However, if you find a 1987 penny without a mint mark, that's where the excitement begins. Typically, a coin without a mint mark would mean that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, as many collectors know, isn't unusual for earlier years. However, in 1987, the absence of the mint mark is considered a major error, an extremely rare mistake made during the minting process. This error is what sets it apart from the rest of the 1987 pennies. It's important to note that while most 1987 pennies are readily found in circulation, the ones without a mint mark are like a hidden treasure, extremely rare. Now, why is the 1987 no mint mark penny worth so much more? Well, the key lies in its rarity. A regular 1987 penny might only fetch 1 cent at your local store, but the error version, the one that was mistakenly produced without a mint mark, has become a prized possession among coin collectors. Let's talk numbers. As of now, the 1987 no mint mark penny has a market value of anywhere between $2,000 and $10,000 depending on its condition, and even higher for pennies in pristine, uncirculated condition. But that's not the end of the story. Some rare instances of this era penny have been sold for as much as $50,000 or more at auction. Condition plays a massive role in determining its price. Coins in mint state condition, like those that have been carefully preserved in a protective case, are more valuable. The better the preservation, the higher the price tag. That's why you'll often see this coin going for thousands, especially if it's certified as a high-quality specimen by a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. So, what should you look for when you think you might have a 1987 no mint mark penny? First, examine the obverse. This is where Abraham Lincoln's portrait is displayed. If you don't see the D mint mark, and instead only see the familiar Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions without any other identifying marks, that's your clue. You might be holding a rare treasure. But remember, it's not just about the absence of the mint mark. You also need to check for other characteristics such as the coin's overall condition and any potential damage that could affect its value. Now, let's talk about how you can find out what your coin is worth. The first thing you should do is get it professionally graded. A coin's grade determines its market value, and these grades can vary from poor to mint state, with special grades like MS65 or MS70 being highly coveted by collectors. Higher grades correspond to better preservation, which means higher value. If you're serious about finding out just how much your 1987 no mint mark penny is worth, it's worth getting it graded. Certification from companies like PCGS or NGC ensures that your coin's authenticity and condition are verified, which can help when selling or auctioning it. A graded coin will fetch a better price than one that's just sitting in a drawer. And just to show you how serious collectors are about this penny, let me take you to a recent auction. You can see how intense the bidding gets for these era pennies. It's no surprise when these rare finds end up fetching tens of thousands of dollars. So, now you know, this little 1987 no mint mark penny could be worth a fortune, but don't just take my word for it. Take a close look at your pennies, check for mint marks, and if you think you've found something special, don't hesitate to get it professionally graded. A simple penny might just be your ticket to a very lucrative collection. If you enjoyed learning about the 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and its incredible worth, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos on rare and valuable coins. And remember, always check your change, because the next treasure might just be waiting for you. 2008 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Believe it or not, this coin could be worth way more than just 1 cent. So stick around as we break down its rarity, current market value, and why it might just be worth $1 million. Let's get started. Let's kick things off by taking a closer look at the 2008 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This particular penny is part of the series that honors the legacy of one of America's most iconic presidents, Abraham Lincoln. The 2008 coin was significant because it marked the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. To commemorate this milestone, the U.S. Mint produced a set of pennies that featured two different reverse designs, one showing the Lincoln Memorial and another showcasing a log cabin, which represents Lincoln's early life. However, the coin we're focusing on today is one with a little bit of a twist. Most of the 2008 pennies have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But some of the 2008 pennies were struck without a mint mark at all. This missing mint mark is where the rarity and the value lie. You see, the U.S. Mint produces most of its coins with a mint mark to indicate where they were made. But in 2008, a small number of pennies were accidentally struck at the Philadelphia Mint without this mark. Now you may be wondering, why does a missing mint mark make a penny worth so much? Well, it's all about rarity. The U.S. Mint strikes billions of pennies every year, but only a small number of 2008 pennies were released without the mint mark. Coin collectors and enthusiasts consider these pennies a true rarity, and rarity equals value. In fact, most people wouldn't even notice the absence of the mint mark, which is what makes this coin even more intriguing. Since the error was so subtle, many of these pennies were spent as regular change, never to be recognized for their worth. But for those who know what they're looking for, this coin has the potential to be a goldmine. To give you an idea of how rare this coin is, experts believe only a few thousand 2008 no mint mark pennies were produced. And because these coins didn't stand out at first, they didn't immediately enter the market with premium prices. But as time passed, collectors began to realize their scarcity, and demand for them grew. So, what's the market value of the 2008 no mint mark penny today? Well, it's important to note that coin values can fluctuate over time based on factors like demand, condition, and rarity. As of right now, a 2008 no mint mark penny can fetch anywhere from $50 to $100 or more in typical collector markets. But here's where things get exciting. There have been instances where this penny has sold for thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. If the coin is in pristine condition, uncirculated, or even graded as a high-quality specimen, collectors are willing to pay top dollar. The current market value for a 2008 no mint mark penny in mint condition can easily range from $500 to $2,000, with some rare specimens going for even higher prices. And if you happen to stumble upon a truly unique or high-grade 2008 no mint mark penny, well, you might just have $1 million coin on your hands. It's not unheard of for extremely rare and perfect condition coins to fetch eye-popping sums at auctions or private sales. Now that you know why this penny is so valuable, you might be wondering how you can identify one of these rare coins. It's actually pretty simple. Just check the obverse side of the penny, where you'll find the profile of Abraham Lincoln. Look just below the date, and you should either see a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. If you don't see any mint mark at all, congratulations, you've found a 2008 no mint mark penny. Just make sure to check the overall condition of the coin, as its grade will greatly affect its value. Keep in mind that the more pristine the coin, the higher the potential value. Coins that are well worn or damaged won't fetch as much as those in excellent condition. So, how much could a 2008 no mint mark penny actually be worth in the future? Well, as with most rare coins, the value can increase as demand rises and time goes on. If you hold on to a pristine, high-grade 2008 no mint mark penny, there's always the possibility it could see significant growth in value, especially as it becomes even rarer and harder to find. In fact, some collectors predict that as time passes, the value of these coins could soar, possibly reaching up to $1 million for the most perfect specimens. But, as with all investments, there's no guarantee. Market trends change, but if you're a collector with a keen eye and patience, holding on to a 2008 no mint mark penny could turn out to be a very profitable decision. Who would have thought that a simple penny could be worth so much? The 2008 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a perfect example of how a small mistake can lead to big rewards for savvy collectors. So, next time you're digging through your change jar, remember to keep an eye out for this elusive coin. You might just be sitting on a future fortune,